When the Jazz signed Lauri Markkanen to an extension this summer, it took the NBA's top trade target off the board. But fans know all too well that when it comes to big name trades, the next one's always just around the corner. Which begs the question, as the 2024-25 season approaches, which All-Star will be on the move next? There are 7 names that stick out. The most obvious 2 are Brandon Ingram and Zach LaVine. Ingram's no stranger to trade rumors, but the writing has really been on the wall since the Pelicans traded for DeJounte Murray, giving New Orleans 2 ball-dominant players in Murray and Zion Williamson, plus veteran shooting guard CJ McCollum. Williamson, Murray, and McCollum are all under contract for the next 2 to 4 years, while Ingram is entering the final year of his deal. The thing is, Ingram's not the type of no-brainer superstar you trade for on an expiring contract. He's a good scorer who can punish teams from mid-range and get to the free throw line, and he's an improved playmaker. But he's not much of an off-ball threat, he's an inconsistent defender, and his lone All-Star appearance came 4 years ago. In many ways, Ingram's like a bigger, less accomplished DeMar DeRozan. That doesn't mean he can't help teams, but it does mean it's hard to find a contender that really needs his services. Guys like Ingram aren't exactly plug and play in any system. And with teams wary of the new apron penalties, Ingram types are no longer max contract shoo-ins. As for LaVine, the term remaining on his contract makes him tough to trade for the opposite reason. Who's giving Chicago a suitable offer for the Bulls' former franchise player when he's an injury-prone, no-defense guard owed up to $138 million over the next 3 years?
Anybody? 75 cents.
If LaVine looks close to his prolific and efficient self early in the season, teams will come calling, but they'll need to see it to believe it. Meanwhile, 2 stars always on the periphery of trade talks are Trae Young and Karl Anthony Towns, but Atlanta and Minnesota won't be in any rush to cut bait. Whether it's Glenn Taylor paying the bills or Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lowry, the Timberwolves won't want to be a second apron team for long. And trading Cat is their smoothest way out of luxury tax hell while still trying to remain competitive. But if the Wolves remain a genuine contender, they should give this core another year together. As for Young, an imminent deal became less likely the moment Atlanta traded Murray instead. Expect the Hawks to at least find out what they have in Zachary Rizache and company before pivoting to a full-scale rebuild. Then there's a trio of under-the-radar candidates you should be keeping an eye on. The first is Julius Randle. The bruising power forward's long-term viability in New York got a boost when the Knicks traded RJ Barrett last season. But with Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and the rest of the UConn boys now serving as the foundation at MSG, Randle may find himself the odd man out. The Knicks have expended much of their asset capital to construct the franchise's best squad this century. If they need to create flexibility at some point, or just need one more deal to put them over the top, moving Randle seems like the logical choice. Randle will also be hunting another big contract next summer, with only a $30.9 million player option on the books for 2025-26. Speaking of potential 2025 free agents, no relationship between player and team will be more fascinating to monitor this season than Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. Butler and the Heat were always a match made in heaven, but there are cracks in the foundation.
If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut.
Butler's entering his age 35 season, has missed between 15 to 25 games in each of the last 7 years. His regular season effort hasn't always been as inspiring as his playoff heroics, and he reportedly wants another max contract. Unless everything goes right for Butler and the Heat this season, it feels like this perfect marriage is about to reach its tipping point. If so, I'm looking at the Cavs, Kings, Warriors, Rockets, and Grizzlies as potential suitors. And finally, saving the best for last, I wouldn't be shocked if Kevin Durant is writing yet another new chapter at some point this season.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
No team has spent more money or mortgaged more of its future in pursuit of its first championship than Phoenix. Yet the Suns entered the 2024-25 campaign as something like the 7th to 10th best team in the league. They're just not good enough. And once Phoenix realizes that, this doomed experiment will come to an end. Devin Booker should remain the franchise cornerstone, and even if Bradley Beal waived his no-trade clause, his toxic contract makes him a negative value asset. That leaves KD as Phoenix's most tradable star, and the Slim Reaper's legendary skill set makes him an easy fit on virtually any roster. My favorite hypothetical though? How about KD helping the young Thunder finish what he started in OKC? Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.